as we see the MRDA 2017 championship rematch between the St. Louis Gatekeepers and Portland's Bridgetown Menace.
It's definitely my most anticipated game for the weekend. I don't have to qualify it. It's my most anticipated game of roller derby for the weekend.
Well, to be fair, there are a lot of really good high-level matchups this weekend.
Yeah, no.
So
there were some hard choices, but
Yeah.
I feel confident now I can say that.
yeah, this is going to be a wild one, folks, especially after the beatdown that Bridgetown put on Dallas, Texas, or the Texas men's earlier today. That was a bit of an eye-opener. I know many gatekeepers were watching that game intently, but they do now have to turn around and play a second game today against the number one team in the MRDA as they are continuing their third title defense.
Yes.
Going for their fourth title as they beat Vancouver yesterday handily by a score of 452-42. But as I mentioned earlier, Bridgetown took down Texas earlier this morning by a score of 277-43.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is definitely amped up the energy going into this game now after seeing Bridgetown's fantastic performance here this morning. As I mentioned, the last time these two teams met was at MRDA Champs in the championship game last year. Gatekeepers coming out with the win, 181-152, and they also played right here at Big O last year, and that was a absolute nail-biter as it came down to the last jam, 134-132. That contest also in favor of the Gatekeepers. So let's do some rosters here.
All right, let's start off with Bridgetown Roller Derbies. Bridgetown Menace, 08 Miller, 101 Freakstyle, 103 Loose Wheel, 11 Sassarge, 12 Tommy Gun, 142 Jamaican Psycho, 17 Austin, 2468 D-Bots, 31 Ramrod, 5 Eldorado, 512 Cosmo Damage, 7 Ostentatious, 56 M Jensen, 69 Don Juan the Devastator, 82 Topher Griffin, and 99 Defensive Destroyer.
And for the St. Louis Gatekeepers, we have 0260 Spin Diesel, number 1 The Saint, representing the 314 Double XL, 32 Shane Bauer, 386 Metcalf, number 5 Bruno Scars, 506 Matthew Udendorf, 5150 Hulk, 6 Sir Nix-a-Lot, 618 Blood Zeppelin, 66 Screech Around, 7 Magnum, PIMP, 73 Kyle Stark, number 82 Percy Control, and number 86 Wrecking Bill. So these two teams have faced each other 8 times in sanctioned play. Bridgetown still have not notched a win. We will see if that changes here today as a revamped and powered up Bridgetown team takes on the St. Louis Gatekeepers.
Few newish changes on the Gatekeepers roster opposed to years before I saw this weekend.
A little bit, mainly in this game. Mainly this game is going to be the standard Gatekeepers lineup. You did see some new faces in that Vancouver game, like Last Rights, who made his debut at last year's Big O, and then also Nate Bauer, Shane Bauer's older brother.
That's pretty exciting
now
to see
a
that.
member of the travel squad.
Good deal.
Cut his teeth earlier this weekend. So it sounds like we're about to get underway, and we're going to start it off with Magnum PIMP on the line for Gatekeepers, going up against Munster for Portland. Sorry, it's Topher Griffin.
Formerly known as Monster.
His jersey still says Monster.
I know it. I know it.
If you're going to change your name, get a new jersey.
I'm helping. I like it when I saw a team where it's like they clearly had brand new jerseys. And still yeah, it was still the wrong name, and I was like, why? Right on.
So you're underway. Magnum PIMP is your lead jammer.
Led Zeppelin up front, holding Griffin back. Woo! Knocking him out to the outside. Did manage to get through. So he's going to be in scoring position momentarily. Magnum's going to go ahead and call it off from the middle of the pack. That is 3 points for your first jam for the St. Louis Gatekeepers. Nothing picked up by Bridgetown.
So Gatekeepers starting strong, getting lead jammer, getting points in the first jam, and now it'll be Sassarge out there for Portland, going up against Shane Bauer for the Gatekeepers.
Ramrod. It looked like he was going to stay right on that line, laying in wait. We are off. Shane Bauer and Cesarge. It's going to be Cesarge popping through one last hop. He's out of the pack. Lead jammer status goes to Bridgetown Menace.
So Shane Bauer has completed initial pass. Sausage, meanwhile, completes the apex jump. And the call off, let's see, 4 points. So next up, it's going to be David Metcalf for the Gatekeepers.
And Austin for Bridgetown.
So we have Austin wearing 17 and Ostentatious wearing 7.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not going to be confusing at all.
You know what? I didn't do this. All right. Trying to run it on through. It's going to be Bridgetown once again with lead status. This pack really easily adapted to the situation. Austin having to really work to get through. He's got it though, and he's through for a 5-point pass, bringing Bridgetown up to 9.
Gatekeepers Bridgetown, doing a really good job containing Metcalf right now, not giving him any room to work. He still has not completed his initial pass.
You see Jensen and Defensive Destroyer. Yeah, I imagined, I was like, this would make a lot of sense if Bots was up front. And he is. Ta-da! Thank you for following my logic, Bridgetown. 4 points to Bridgetown on that last pass, bringing it up to 13. Gatekeepers are going to stay at 3.
And it is Topher Griffin back on the line already.
And Magnum PIMP.
Magnum PIMP again quickly secures lead jammer for St. Louis. Topher does get, but Topher gets free. Nix and Percy Control headed to the penalty box.
These are our first penalties from either team. The double whammy there. Calling that off. It's another 4 points for Bridgetown. Oh, sorry. That's 4 points to Gatekeepers. Nothing picked up by Bridgetown. 7-13.
So Ostentatious now on the line for Bridgetown, going up against Shane Bauer for the Gatekeepers.
That's the other thing I let you naturally realize is also both of the Austins will be jamming.
Yeah. So 4-on-2 pack advantage in favor of Bridgetown. Spin Diesel and Bled Zeppelin, the Gatekeepers jammers, or blockers.
Bots and Jensen with Defensive Destroyer. It's again holding the Gatekeepers jammer back. Not quite capable of doing it as long as they did before. Jensen takes that one last hit, but Shane is going to take lead jammer status for the St. Louis Gatekeepers. Meantime, Ostentatious now facing off against Bled Zeppelin. He is through, having completed his initial. Bauer with a good eye. Turns around in time to see Austin before he is capable of scoring any points. 2 more to the Gatekeepers.
Next up, Screech Around on the line for St. Louis. That is number 11, Sausage out there for Bridgetown.
Bled Zeppelin seated in the box is going to be pack advantage to Bridgetown. Screech Around getting lead jammer status, but Cesarge is on top of that, really racing to catch up with him, trying to force the call off.
Yep.
Ooh, a little bit of a spill. Screech is going to slide in. He's going to pick up 1 more point for Gatekeepers. Calling it off on one knee.
Bled Zeppelin now standing in the penalty box. It'll be Magnum PIMP now against Austin. If you're just joining us, Gatekeepers in white with green, Bridgetown in purple with silver.
Again, Defensive Destroyer in charge of the 3-ball towards the back. The Wrecking Bill headed to the box with pack advantage once again to Bridgetown. Bots having a seat. The first Bridgetown penalty accrued. It's be Magnum PIMP, your lead jammer for St. Louis Gatekeepers.
Gatekeepers doing a nice job right now in Austin. We could see our first multi-pass jam here for St. Louis.
Wrecking Bill about to come back in. Magnum in, trying to make points of these bodies.
Wrecking Bill up front, playing some offense.
He's got up against Defensive Destroyer. It's going to be a power jam now to Bridgetown. There has been a star pass, so Bots is now jamming for Bridgetown. Bots ever impressive and versatile as a skater. Coming through, first pass, 5 points. He has matched Magnum's 5 points, but Magnum is now back in play. This power jam is over. Magnum encounters that 3 brace in the back. Ever present, but he makes it right through. That is another 5-point pass for St. Louis. That is the natural conclusion of that jam. Another 5 points for the Gatekeepers, 2 points for Bridgetown Menace. That puts our score 20-18 in favor of St. Louis.
So we have ourselves a lead change.
Oh, no we don't now. Now we have a tie game.
Oh, we have a tie game.
Secret points have happened. It's 20-20. We have an official timeout being called.
Looks like Rock just wanted to give a bit of a heads up to Bots about it.
I think there's going to be a little bit of adjustment to the clock because multiple people are signaling for the timeout, but the clock didn't stop on the initial call for that.
Yeah, we definitely do not want to cheat viewers of any time that they're going to see of this game, because this
Or the
game,
skaters. I mean, just a
this-
few seconds can really make impact.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy. Is that a Portland player over there getting medical attention?
Oh, it looks like Jensen. Yeah, it looks like. I didn't see him go down.
Yeah, I didn't either. But yeah, that is M. Jensen over
Or maybe he self-reported, you know.
getting some, it's like some ice on the neck area.
It's the whole neck area. So I'm
maybe a
like, maybe
stinger.
he's like super overheated or something.
Me too, although it's pretty cool in here, but
I'm not skating.
this
I
is
mean,
true.
I'm just like, you know, for me, hanging out, we're also hanging out on like the only air vent I've seen.
Yes, this is true. All right, back in action. David Metcalf out there against Topher Griffin for Bridgetown.
Ooh.
Man, that's a whole lot of body to have falling on you. Oh,
Truth. Metcalf trying to get past this back once again. Cosmo damage, causing, you know, more damage, as it were. Griffin is going to get lead jammer status once again for Portland. Pack hasn't moved past turn 2, so he's coming right in for those points. There's a little bit of spillage in this jam.
oh man, big hit by double XL on Topher Griffin. He's going to pick up a forearm penalty.
Griffin bringing himself to the back to avoid any sort of track cutting business. He's going to make his way back up.
Ooh, big hit by Nix-a-Lot.
Definitely.
So 5 points on that jam, so 25-20 now.
Another lead change.
In favor
Take
of
us out of
Bridgetown,
that.
yes.
Take it out of that tie. We don't like indecision, you know.
So Shane Bauer now out there again for St. Louis, going up against, that is number 11, Sausage. A 4-on-3 pack advantage in favor of Bridgetown. However, Shane Bauer quickly shoots to the outside or the inside and grabs lead jammer for St. Louis.
Still haven't moved past turn 2, so we're at turn 1.5. Shane will be coming in for points. He'll hop over the last bit of apex. He picks up all 4 before Bridgetown is capable of picking up any points. So now 24-25, still in favor of Portland.
Miller taking a seat in the penalty box, so both teams will be down 1 blocker. However, Double XL standing in the penalty box, so he'll be re-entering play shortly after play resumes. And it is ostentatious out there for Portland going up against Screech Around for St. Louis.
Man, open up just a little bit. Screech Around runs through the inside, getting lead jammer status. Ostentatious still hung up in the pack.
Screech Around with great lateral movement. He likes to try to get the entire pack to drift to one side, then he will bounce it around to the opposite. And there we see again a big 5-point pass for St. Louis, and we have ourselves another lead change.
Ostentatious getting knocked to the outside. He's going to recycle himself back. Percy Control and Double XL await him in the back. Loose Wheel trying to help out a little bit with offense.
Now Miller up there trying to help spring Ostentatious, but not having much luck.
Ooh.
Double XL with a bone-crushing hit. And then Kyle Stark comes in with another bit of a hit as he's getting up.
So we're going to have some out-of-play calls towards the back. I was going to say this can't possibly be a pack.
Well, we do have a bridge, so we're doing okay right now.
He was kind of secreted behind a ref for me.
GateKeepers still cycling so well, just not giving Ostentatious much room to work with. He is advancing up the track, but the GateKeepers are going right with him. And now we have a power jam situation as Screech Around reports to the penalty box. I did not see the call.
I totally missed it. I was entranced by Nix. He is impressing me so much today.
Oh, he is such a big hitter, and he doesn't need a whole lot of movement to get a big hit on somebody.
He just drilled his shoulder in and held him back, and I was just like, how long can this go on? Almost like Ostentatious ready for a little star pass. Miller, perhaps not as interested. Well, it's out of his hand, so it was like it looked like for a second he's like, "No, I'm cool." But Miller does have it. A little bit of a stumble as he comes out of the pack. That is the natural conclusion of the jam. Miller did have star in hand, so it was a successful star pass. No chance to read-on or score points.
So 12-point jam there for St. Louis. Takes us to 36-25 in favor of St. Louis. And it's going to be Magnum PIMP out there now against Sausage.
Double XL in the penalty box. The pack advantage will go to Bridgetown.
Magnum PIMP so far has been able to secure lead jammer every time he has taken the track. We'll see if that string continues here.
That is a tough thing
it's
to keep
probably
against
not.
Sarge. Yeah, I feel like that's not possible now.
Now it's a power jam, so definitely possible.
Lead open, now lead closed goes to Sarge. Sarge coming in, gonna score right in that between 1 and 2 spot once again. Bots in the box, Double XL standing. Sarge coming through backwards on one skate so perfectly. 5 more points to Bridgetown.
Jensen back in play after visiting the EMTs, so that's good to see. And meanwhile, Sausage with another 5-point pass. Power jam comes to an end. Magnum PIMP quickly gets through, completes the initial pass. Meanwhile, Sausage trying to get one more pass in.
Sarge calling it off.
Big jam there for Portland.
Definitely. It's going to be a 15-point jam.
Yep, 15 points. So lead change.
Woo! 36-40 right now in favor of Bridgetown Menace. 15 minutes left in the period.
Next up, it'll be Shane Bauer going up against Topher Griffin, and we have ourselves a timeout here by Bridgetown. Don't forget, use the hashtag BigO2018 all your tournament posts this weekend as the official hashtag of the tournament this year. Also, Hit This Derby Gear has everything you need to get rolling, from skates to protective gear and unmatched service for all your derby needs. Before you hit the track, hit this. So if you're tuning in from home, and if you aren't, you wouldn't be hearing me.
That's true.
You may notice one particular name you don't see out there for Bridgetown, and that is Shreddy Mercury. No Shreddy Mercury. He is not on the charter at the moment. I'm not quite sure why, but
Good, he just retired. I mean,
that's possible. But you think you would have
uh,
heard something
I
about
didn't.
it.
Yeah, I didn't think. I was talking to Defensive Destroyer. He's an awesome human being.
Yeah.
We chatted a lot last night, and I didn't even think, because I just looked at their roster went live
So,
on
yeah.
the 28th of last month. But yeah,
So you know,
if Shreddy's listening from home,
yeah,
hello.
you might be very well. Hello. And if you're a Gatekeepers fan, you may notice Corey Porter
I did notice that. Yeah.
missing from the St. Louis charter. He has retired. So we're back in action now as Shane Bauer is out there against Topher, and Topher Griffin's going to be your lead jammer here for Bridgetown.
Bauer finding himself in a tough spot against this recycling two brace up front. Loose Wheel and Miller really doing a great job of keeping him back. Cosmo Damage was in that as a three brace, but he is having a seat in the penalty box. Bauer is through, having completed his initial, will be scoring in just a few seconds, or in scoring position, I suppose. It's 3 more points for Gatekeepers, 4 more for Bridgetown. 39-44, still in favor of Portland.
Bruno Scar is making his first appearance here in this game for St. Louis. He's going to be going up against number 101. That is Freakstyle. Also making his first appearance on the jammer line for Bridgetown in this game. Looks like St. Louis with a 1 blocker advantage as Cosmo Damage sits in the penalty box.
Ooh. Bruno nearly through, gets knocked into the inside, is going to recycle back. At the same time, Freakstyle also knocked in. Doesn't have to come as far back. Ooh. He gets from Bots and then Defensive Destroyer. He's going to have to come in behind Cosmo Damage. Freakstyle up front. Did he press, or was that last hit going to keep him back? Yeah, he's now behind a 2 brace.
St. Louis down 2 blockers in a bad situation here.
Yeah, but Saint and Bled are really holding it together up front.
Here comes Wrecking Bill re-entering play. Led Zeppelin just standing Freakstyle up.
Yeah.
And then with a nice force out to the inside. He's going to get called for a high block, though. Now, lead jammer for Freakstyle.
Well, it was hard fought.
Yeah, I mean, we're over a minute in.
No, that's craziness. Spin Diesel now sitting in the box along with Bled Zeppelin. Again, we have just the 2. It's going to be Saint and Wrecking Bill left on the track. Freakstyle still having a tough time getting through. Does get through. 5 more points to Portland. There's going to be a star pass, perhaps. Bruno signaling to Saint. Bled Zeppelin is now coming back in, but Freakstyle, advised by his bench, calls it off. 3 more points for Bridgetown Menace. Bring him up to 52. Gatekeepers still sitting at 39.
So Gatekeepers down, one blocker. Spin Diesel standing in the penalty box as Magnum PIMP takes the jammer line for St. Louis, and that is Austin out there for Portland. Double XL with a nice hit, forcing Austin to the outside. Meanwhile, Magnum PIMP shoots through. He's going to be your lead jammer here for St. Louis. Oh, wow, big hit. We've got 2 players down. Oh. Spin Diesel gets up under his own power and is skating off now. Meanwhile, I believe that is Portland's jammer that is down. So a big round of applause by the crowd here as Austin is rolled off the track.
It was a rough break,
Yeah.
you know? So, for those of you just tuning in, we were coming back from a little pause for injury in Bridgetown's Austin, being seen by our medical staff.
It appears Rock right now, the head ref of this crew, is explaining to the Bridgetown captain and their coach what the ref crew saw transpire.
Mm-hmm. I honestly didn't quite understand what happened myself.
No, I didn't see
which
it.
is fine.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
There was a little bit of a swarm going on. They're a little bit away from us. We are between turns 3 and 4 at the back of the track. The Big O is brought to you in part by the acclaimed Rydell Solaris. Solaris, the performance you demand, the comfort you've been missing. You can check them out online or hopefully at your local skate shop. That is Rydell.
There's a whole lot of discussion going on over there.
There is.
So now Rock will go over and discuss with the Gatekeepers captain and coaching staff what transpired according to the ref's crew. Looks like 11:06 on the clock here.
So I was trying to make out, is it 11 or 12?
52-39 the score in favor of Portland, and it looks like we are ready to get back to action here. And it looks like after all that, we're going to have a penalty on the Portland
Bridgetown
jammer.
jammer moved into a clockwise skating blocker, initiating contact with their head. Therefore, a blocking with the head call will be issued to the Bridgetown jammer.
So there you have it, Rock. So it'll be a power jam here for Magnum PIMP.
go Magnum with his power start. Aside from Sarge, penalty box is empty.
Wow.
Wasn't really sure just yet. Bots now headed to the box. Magnum coming in for his first scoring pass. A little duck through the pack. That is 5 points.
So a big opportunity here for St. Louis. Power jam comes to an end. Sausage back on the track.
It's a destroyer now having a seat, and Sassarge, I believe, coming back to the box.
Yes, he is, for contact while airborne.
I see.
And Magnum PIMP with a flourish, an apex jump of his own. Already 15 on the board here for St. Louis.
So a new lead change.
Yep, and Magnum PIMP continues to take full advantage of this opportunity.
Sarge standing, about ready to come out of the box. It's going to be frozen in there for just a few more seconds, 2 seconds, according to penalty box timer Cooney, who you may recognize from Columbia, Missouri.
Yes. So another lead change. 20-point jam there for St. Louis. Shane Bauer now on the line, going up against nobody. Sarge was still in the penalty box.
He's got that 2 seconds.
Yep. Sausage now back in play. Ooh, nice attacking of the seam there by Sausage.
Bauer getting knocked out to the outside. He's going to be recycled back.
Ooh. Big hit there by Double XL.
And his reward, the penalty box.
Yeah.
Did you see the call on that one?
I think it was a forearm.
It's a safe bet. Sarge is through. Lead jammer status awarded to him. Bauer is also through. Though not lead, could be scoring seconds from now. Sarge calling it off from the ground. Another 3 points for Bridgetown.
So far, this is everything we expected. Lots of lead changes, a close, tight game, and very physical. So Screech around now out there going up against, that is Topher Griffin. And 4-on-3 pack advantage in favor of St. Louis right now, or sorry, in favor of Portland right now.
Screech coming through, picking up lead at jammer status. Pack coalescing around the pivot line. Griffin is through. Not going to be able to pick up any points, though. 3 more points for St. Louis.
So next up, we're going to have Freak Style out there for Portland going up against David Metcalf for St. Louis.
Big hit from Percy Control is going to bring a Freak Style back. Metcalf trying to find his way through, not quite able to do it just yet. Cosmo loose. I believe Tommy in the back. Really giving Metcalf some trouble. Freak Style is through. It is going to be a track cut. Woo. Saying hi to Bots as he has a seat in the box, I believe. Is lead still open?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Ooh, big hit there
That was,
by Loose Wheel.
yeah. Cosmo coming to have a seat in the box.
Metcalf now through. This jam will go the full 2 minutes. As mentioned, Freak Style did have lead jammer when he was sent to the box. So Now we got a high block call on Nix, so he'll take a seat. Meanwhile, David Metcalf putting points on the board. 5 points there on that pass.
This power jam is over. Freestyle is back in the action, running his way right through. That was his initial. Missed something. I missed something. I'm sorry.
It looks like Hulk took a shot to the face, so he's down on the ref lane. Meanwhile,
don't need a face to block, am I right?
Yeah. Meanwhile, St. Louis is down 2 blockers, and Freakstyle putting more points on the board here.
Nix.
Oh, Nix coming out of the penalty box. Just as he gets back to the engagement zone, he lays a vicious hit on Freakstyle. Meanwhile, Dylan Bott's back to the penalty box again. He's now on 5. That might be his 6th, actually.
No, that's his 5th.
Is it his 5th?
Yeah.
Okay. They got that one in fast then.
Yeah.
He wasn't even in the box before it popped up on our screen.
So let's see, after the dust settles there, it's a 16-8 jam, and 16-11 jam in favor of St. Louis, and that takes our score to 83-66 in favor of St. Louis. So this one has been fast and furious as we're already in the 19th jam of the first half. Magnum PIMP out there against Sausarge. Magnum PIMP is going to be your lead jammer.
He's got that huge gatekeeper brace in the back. Magnum already coming in. We haven't moved past turn 1. Jensen having a seat in the box.
Look
just
at this, a forearm call on Sausarge. Wow, another power jam here. And already Magnum with 10 notched up, looking for more here. $15 now here on this jam. And Magnum with the great vision, realizing that the penalty is going to be coming to an end. He calls that off, so Sausarge is still in the penalty box. So now the score, a 20-point jam there for Magnum PIMP, takes the score to 103-66. And now St. Louis starting to get a little momentum here, starting to take control. And they will start unopposed. That's Shane Bauer out there.
Man, Cosmo.
Cosmo Damage, such a good blocker.
I know it. Getting that just ever so slightly out. He knows your wheel is out. He's ready to recycle you already.
And now Sausage is going to get another track cut. He thought he was clean, but he was not. And now Shane Bauer going to be your lead jammer here for St. Louis.
Bauer coming in for his first scoring pass on this power jam. Cosmo at the top of the pack, ready for this. Bauer picks up 3 more points for St. Louis. Nothing picked up by Bridgetown. Sarge is going to be starting off in the box, but only for a few seconds.
Once again, St. Louis, very heads-up play as they go ahead and call that jam off while Sausarge still stands in the penalty box. So that will allow Screech Around seconds at least to start this one unopposed. Screech Around's had a good run here today. He has secured lead jam every time he's been put out there. He has been used sparingly, however. So we'll see if that continues here.
Ooh,
and wow, yeah, he quickly grabs it. I think St. Louis might want to start putting him out there a little more often as he's been having a really good time.
And power start is over. Sarge is in, has passed the star off to defensive destroyer. Screech calls it off before Goldie can get to the back of the pack. 2 more points for Gatekeepers, nothing for Bridgetown. A 108-66 as we get down to the last couple of jams.
be Magnum PIMP out there next against Topher Griffin. Jam 21, ladies and gentlemen.
We do have less than a minute left on the period clock, so I think this is going to be the final jam of this half. Topher really having to work for it in the back. Double XL along with Hulk. Not sure who's up at the front. I have guesses. Speculate wildly, as I do. Our Nix is up trying to help Magnum get through the pack. Magnum taking a huge hit. Landed him on the outside on the ground.
Meanwhile, the Gatekeepers defensive core just not giving any room. And now he finally squeaks out, so we're going to have lead jammer here for Topher Griffin in Portland. It's been 5 jams since they've had lead jammer.
Miller having a seat in the box, so pack advantage is to Gatekeepers, but that lead advantage, of course, gonna get the end of that jam called. Nothing picked up by St. Louis. One more for Portland. We're gonna be going into intermission. 108 St. Louis Gatekeepers, 67 Bridgetown Menace.
All right, we are back here. Track 1, 2018 Big O, Day 2. And the matchup here between number 1 and number 2, St. Louis Gatekeepers taking on Bridgetown's Portland Bridgetown Menace. I'll get that out eventually.
Yeah, nailed it.
So our halftime score, 108 to 67, and I've got some scoring updates for you. Leading all scorers for St. Louis, Magnum PIMP with 58 points. Then we've got Shane Bauer with 27, Screech Around with 18, and then David Metcalf with 5. And then for Bridgetown, we have Freakstyle with 19, Austin with 16, Sausage with 22, and then Topher Griffin with 10. So that's what we're looking at right now for first half scoring. As far as penalties are concerned, really the only one that's in any trouble is Dylan Botts, as he's sitting on 5 at the moment. Everyone else pretty clean. The most we've got anywhere else is 3, a couple threes for Bridgetown, and then 1 3 for St. Louis. So really a clean game. I mean, there's not many penalties at all.
It's
so
true. Yeah,
it's been a very clean game, and we're about to get back underway here, and we're going to start off with Magnum PIMP out there against Sausage. If you're just joining us, Gatekeepers in the white with green, Bridgetown in purple with silver. Both teams, actually, no, St. Louis with a 1 blocker advantage, and Magnum PIMP going to be your lead jammer with the fancy apex jump there. Sausage still trying to quit his initial pass. Led Zeppelin up front trying to knock him out. Doesn't. He completes the pass. Magnum PIMP now trying to get some points. Takes a tumble on the inside. Picks up, let's see. 2 points.
There we go.
So that takes us to 110-67 in favor of St. Louis.
Out next, it's going to be Topher Griffin facing off against Shane Bauer. Bauer trying to take to the outside, little hop, and he is through. Lead to St. Louis. Miller coming in, so the full complement of blockers will be on the track. Just as I say that, Jensen is headed to the box.
Tell you what, Dylan Botts, for the amount of penalties he has, he's been an absolute nightmare out there.
I know it.
For everybody.
He's so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he is, for his size, the amount of force he's able and the amount of track he's able to fill up is pretty insane.
Bauer calling it off. 4 more points to St. Louis, so 114-67. So we're about to enter the 3rd jam of the second half. Freakstyle taking the line against Screech.
Not surprised to see either of these jammers out there so quickly again, as they saw limited use in the first half, but were very effective. Oh, now we're getting an update. 5 points there on that
wow.
for St. Louis. So both jammers were very effective in the first half, so we'll probably see more of them in the second half. A scrum right now is both groups very close together. A tight pack. Now it spreads out a little bit as Jensen comes in from out of the box.
Screech taking a knock to the outside. Udendorf headed to the penalty box. Screech still trying to make his way through.
Forearm call there on Tommy Gunn. That was his first penalty of the game. And finally, Screech around going to be your lead jammer.
50 seconds.
Yeah. We've had a couple of those now.
Yeah.
Both teams are so good defensively.
Freestyle taking a hit to the inside. Screech as well coming on the inside. Both of them trying to muscle through the pack. Knock to the outside. Freestyle's going to recycle back in the meantime. Screech around, picking up full 5 points.
So the Gatekeepers now just settling in, being methodical, taking the points wherever they can, not trying to press the issue. Screech around forced out on the inside. He's going to call that jam off. Let's see how many points he picked up. No points on that pass. So 120-67 now. Now it'll be Sausage out there for Bridgetown, going up against Magnum PIMP for St. Louis.
Wow. Once again, inside opens up just a little bit. This time Magnum running right through it. Lead jammer status again to St. Louis Gatekeepers. Miller, defensive destroyer.
Oh.
Hanging out in the back. Magnum's going to go ahead and call it off. Did pick up 3 points, though. Borland still with nothing picked up. 123-67.
So Shane Bauer now out there for St. Louis, going up against Topher Griffin for Bridgetown.
Bridgetown hanging out right on the jam line. Bauer trying to get a strategy to get through. Tommy Gunn is going to be the last recyclable he must pass. Woo. Lead is awarded to Topher Griffin.
Led Zeppelin on his way to the penalty box for a forearm call.
Woo. Little hop to get past his own skaters and the Gatekeepers jammer. 5 points. Bridgetown. Tommy Gunn up front.
Oh, Shane stays in.
Man, yeah, Tommy a little bit out, I believe. Topher calling it off. Let's see.
9
13.
points.
Wait on that a second. Oh, must have been like a super fast score update. Okay, yeah. 9 points. There you go. 123-76. Still in favor of St. Louis.
So David Metcalf out there now seeing his first action here in the second half, going up against Ostentatious, also seeing his first action here in the second half. Portland enjoying a 1 blocker advantage at the moment. Ostentatious going to be your lead jammer.
I think this is Austin's first lead in this game. Ooh. And Because I said his name aloud, he must report to the penalty box due to announcer's curse.
Yeah.
Metcalf is through the pack, having completed his initial, will be scoring momentarily. We're going to go the full 2 minutes, of which we have almost a minute and a half left on this jam. Back block being assessed to Nix.
So Portland right now doing a really fine job killing this penalty. Metcalf with really no room to work at all. And wow.
Ooh,
Oh.
almost. But guess what? It's bots.
Yeah, imagine that.
All right, Ostentatious is back in play, finding himself against a brace led by Bled Zeppelin. Maybe that's Percy Control and Double XL out back. Double XL and Bled up front. No bridge and some out of play going on there. 5 more points. Metcalf taking some huge hits and penalty being assessed. It's now a power jam to Portland.
So 10 points here so far for Ostentatious. This jam right now exactly what the gatekeeper or what Portland needed. Metcalf does get released from the penalty box right before that jam comes to an end. 4 more points there for Ostentatious, so 14-point jam. So now only 33 points separate these two squads. Next up, it'll be Sausage versus Magnum PIMP.
Only Jensen in the box, and he's already standing, so short package advantage to St. Louis. Magnum pressing his way up against this 3 brace. Not quite able to get past it yet. Last, having to get away from loose wheel, he does so. Lead is awarded to St. Louis.
Oh my word, how did he stay in?
I don't even know at this point.
That is ridiculous.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
Oh, is that yours?
that's what we use that for.
So we have a star pass here.
Miller picking it up. He is now a jammer for Bridgetown. That is the end of that jam, though. Nothing picked up that time by Bridgetown Menace. It's just the 9 points for St. Louis, 136-90.
Now we're going to have an official timeout here. Rock headed over to the Portland bench. Wow, it looks like at the end of that jam, the Portland jammer picked up a penalty. So Miller now sits in the penalty box.
The Bridgetown jammer was sent to the was given a penalty for a high block.
So there you have it. So now Shane Bauer with the power start. Bled Zeppelin sitting in the penalty box for St. Louis. So a 4-on-3 pack advantage for Bridgetown as Bauer starts this jam unopposed.
Track cut being called on Bauer is going to allow another power jam. Miller standing in the box, so about 22 seconds-ish of this penalty will be served by Shane. Miller is back in play.
So lead jam still available.
Yes. Nick's headed off to the box for St. Louis Gatekeepers. This is his fourth penalty. Miller trying to work his way past Bled Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin showing why he was on Team USA.
Right?
To be fair, Miller not a usual jammer, but still. Now Bot's getting up there.
Yep. Bauer using that full stride to get over that apex. He's now through his initial. Miller recycling to the back, meeting up with Nix fresh out of the box. It's like he's considering. Ooh. Person control taking him down.
And a track cut call on Miller. So another power jam here for St. Louis. That also means that Miller will start the next jam in the penalty box as there's less than 30 seconds left on the jam. So another opportunity for the Gatekeepers here.
Five more points on that pass. And right now, a 9-point jam for St. Louis. Looks like that's where we're going to stand. Yeah, so it's going to be a 145 to 92 as we are under 20 minutes. I believe it's 17.
So again, this is a situation for Portland as they have a jammer out there in the box right now that is not normally a jammer. And this is a situation that St. Louis has been taking advantage of now for the past few minutes as they have continued to make him stay out there as a jammer.
Team timeout called by Portland. Jinx.
Tell you what, you're not going to find a better referee, well, not many better referees out there than Rock, as he really takes his time to explain to people why they're getting penalties or situations where, hey, you're getting really close to getting a penalty, you need to calm that down.
Right. And it's really nice when he does it.
Yeah. I mean, I literally heard Wrecking Bill one time say he loves Rock.
Oh my God, what?
And if Wrecking Bill says that he loves a ref, you know the ref.
I feel like this is like.
Yeah, it's Bizarro World.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
Did he have a goatee?
Yeah.
You know, so I believe we're at Handlebars with Mr. Bill. So
Screech around out there now for St. Louis. This will be his second jam here in the second half.
again, we have a power start for Screech around. Miller in the box. Otherwise, the box is empty, so blockers are all good. Miller now standing, so this is going to be a short power start for Screech. Taking a big hit, knocked into the inside. Is Screech at 100% every time he's been out?
I believe he has.
I think so, or very close.
No, he has. He has been
Okay.
lead jammer every time he's donned the star here. We'll see if he can continue that, and he does. Miller back on the track, so the power jam has come to an end. But man, Spin, Diesel, and Wrecking Bill just punishing Miller.
Ready for that star pass, slipping it over to Topher Griffin, who is usually a jammer.
Meanwhile, Tommy Gunn with the apex jump the opposite direction to take Screech all the way back into turn 3.
Screech trying to edge his way
Ooh.
on the outside. nearly makes it, tripping over Topher Griffin, I believe, still has star in hand. Screech is going to go ahead and call it from the ground. There's a body behind him, but I believe it's just a tired body.
Yeah, it's Tommy
Not a
Guns.
hurt
Yeah,
body.
Spin Diesel helping him up.
These two teams, you know, long standing in the top 10. I mean, the whole time Murray's been around, but also like have a great friendship between them. So it's
Yeah, off the track, they're you know, obviously when you're on the track and your competitors, you're not that friendly.
they're still pretty nice.
They're still
you
pretty
know?
nice to each other, but yeah, off the track, both teams have a hearty respect for one another. Magnum PIMP, your lead jammer here for St. Louis. That
American
is
Psycho seating in the box for Bridgetown.
this freak style out there for Portland.
Freestyle now free of Stark.
It's going to force that call off there.
Definitely. Ooh.
Ooh. So 2 points there for Magnum PIMP. Takes us to 157 to 92. It looks like 14-10 to go here in the second half. Metcalf now on the line, and we're going to get looks like an official timeout. If things remain as they are, Ostentatious will be donning the star for Portland next jam. Rock and Don Scorleone over by the Portland bench.
Freestyle having a seat in the box. I think Rock is going to come tell us why. Otherwise, I have a pretty reasonable idea. Yeah.
I think Defensive Destroyer was looking for some sort of penalty call at the end of that jam as he was being very animated over there on the bench.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, no. So, Freestyle, as the whistles blew, I believe had contact with Nix. Stark had things to say about it as he went to the bench.
Of course he
It's
did.
like I'm like, oh, Stark's back. And then I also feel like he never left.
A late hit was given to the Bridgetown jammer.
There we go.
Rock the mic.
I think he's much more concise than me.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you everything I know about these humans.
So it'll be Metcalf now, the lone jammer, and he gets a lot of room. Nice work there by the Gatekeepers defense by just running the pack out to spread it out for Metcalf. Cosmo Damage headed to the penalty box, and that opens up room for Metcalf. 5-point pass as the Gatekeepers continue to control this game. Freakstyle back on the track. Power jam comes to an end. Another 5-point pass there for Metcalf. 10 so far this jam. Freakstyle still trying to complete the initial pass. Wrecking Bill, Led Zeppelin, and Spin Diesel having none of it.
5-point pass for Metcalf. Right now it's a 15-point jam for St. Louis. Metcalf facing off against Cosmo Damage at the top of that pack. Is going to get knocked to the outside. Go ahead and call it. Another 3 points on that pass, though. It's an 18-point jam for St. Louis, bringing it to 176.92 for Bridgetown, and we are under 12 and a half minutes.
So now we get Ostentatious on the line. We'll be going up against Shane Bauer. I do believe it's Ostentatious that is the lead jammer, and I don't. There he goes. Now he realizes it. He's going to call that jam off. So 0-0 jam. We haven't seen many of those this game.
It's true.
So it'll be Magnum PIMP on the jammer line now for St. Louis, going up against Topher Griffin for Bridgetown. Oh, nice move there by Topher Griffin on the outside line, and he gets your lead jammer here for Portland's Bridgetown Menace.
Magnum is through. That was his initials. He's going to be in scoring position as two blockers, Loose Wheel and Cosmo, head to the penalty box. So pack advantage by half to St. Louis as we start into the next jam. That was another 0-0 jam. Score remains at 176-92.
More importantly for St. Louis, more time ticks off that clock. Even though it was a 0-0 jam, the advantage is in St. Louis's favor. Having the sizable lead here late in the second half, a little over 10 minutes to go here in this contest. Screech around now out there going up against Ostentatious. Ostentatious, a transfer from Puget Sound. And Screech around your lead jammer.
There have been a couple of changes since champs. Certainly.
Ooh.
Austin is free of the pack. Was about to be, yeah, no, there was, I thought I was being called off. Huge open outside. Austin picking up 5.
Yeah, they're going to call Screech around, I think, for a hitting out of bounds. So Screech around did have lead jammer, so this will be a full 2-minute jam.
Screech is standing in the box. Only a few seconds left on this power jam. Austin knocked out to the outside. Double XL recycling back. Screech has a re-injured play. Goes through his own teammates. And faces off firstly against Bots. Austin taking another knock to the outside. Double XL still in place.
Jensen on his way to the penalty box again.
Four points for St. Louis Gatekeepers on this pass. Austin finally making it through, taking a little spin move off of Stark. 4 points also to Bridgetown. Right now a 4-19 jam in favor of Bridgetown Menace. The overall score still in favor of St. Louis. All right, 1 more point to Bridgetown. That last pass. 2 to St. Louis. That's going to put us up 181-112. 5-20 jam. We are now under 8 minutes.
So Magnum PIMP out there now, going to go up against Sausage for Portland. 4-on-3 pack advantage, at least for a few seconds in favor of St. Louis, as Jensen stands in the penalty box at the moment. Jensen is released back into play. And in his place, we'll go 142 Jamaican Psycho. Meanwhile, Magnum PIMP, your lead jammer, but Sausage hot on his tails. And you know what? St. Louis is absolutely fine with that right now, as this is going to take more time off the clock. In fact, don't be surprised if they decide to run this jam a little bit, but they don't. So I think it's going to be a 0-0 jam here. Let's see. Oh no, Magnum picked up 4 on that. Wow, impressive. takes us to 185 to 112 here with looks like 6:45 to go on the clock. And now it's going to be Topher Griffin out there going up against Shane Bauer. Shane Bauer gets around the outside. He's going to be your lead jammer. 2 blockers in the box for Bridgetown right now.
Seco is getting ready to come back into play. Bauer is coming through scoring, finding his way through on the outside. Defensive Destroyer and Bots trying to bust up the Gatekeepers blockers. Meantime, Topher Griffin being recycled back behind the 3 brace led by Hulk, containing Percy Control and Double XL.
Mix-a-Lot takes a seat, so a 4-on-3 pack advantage now in favor of Bridgetown. Scratch that as here comes Dylan Bots. That will be his 6th. And that jam comes to an end. 13 points total, 198 to 112. So screech around now out there. Looks like 2 blockers in the box for Portland, 1 blocker in the box for St. Louis. So a lot of room for these 2 jammers to work with, and now we're going to have a timeout here by Bridgetown. Social media team is working feverishly all weekend to bring you live tweets and Facebook coverage throughout the event. You can find them on the usual suspect sites such as Facebook, Twitter, and other places. Experience world-class edging with the Radar Halo, available in a full range of hardnesses from 84A all the way up to 103A. There is a Halo for everyone, made by Rydell. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, after this game, we are by no means done on this track as we have a big one coming up as Angel takes on Victoria right here on track 1 at 8 p.m. Pacific time. So we're going to get back to action here in just a moment. It's going to be Screech Around against Sausage.
Bots and 1 more Bridgetown blocker sitting in the box. Nick's in the box for Gatekeepers. Sarge able to get through, and the lead is awarded to Bridgetown Menace. That is Screech's first time out, not having lead. And he's been out against Sarge a couple times, and I thought, how are you keeping this streak going?
Oh, big hit there by Spin Diesel. And they're having some fun with it too, as Spin Diesel and Sausage hug afterwards. Like we mentioned, a lot of history between these 2 teams, but never malicious by any means. These 2 teams really enjoy playing each other.
Bots and Defensive Destroyer now standing in the box, so pack advantage by half again is going to go to St. Louis. Freakstyle and David Metcalf on the line as jammers. Freestyle really working for it. As a tough row to hoe, as it were, getting through that wall. So Defensive Destroyer back, working on the outside, trying to help break up these defenses so his jammer might be able to get through. Freestyle has not made it yet. Over 30 seconds has already elapsed in this jam. Metcalf knocked out to the outside. And I believe this jam will be called for injury.
That's Percy Control down, but it looks like he's all right. It looks like he just got winded. He's good. He's gonna skate over to his bench, but with I believe that was an early call off for injury, was it?
I think
believe
it
so.
was.
So he'll have to sit a few.
And freak style sitting in the box. I didn't see the penalty called
Oh,
on
no,
that
I
one,
did
but
not
it
either.
was pretty immediate at the end of that jam. So still overall, pretty clean jam.
Other than Bots sitting on 6.
Sorry, I got distracted. I thought that was the head ref. It was Biggie talking on house. So yeah, only out of both teams, 3 skaters over 4 penalties. It is Nix from St. Louis, Bots from Bridgetown, as well as Miller. Bots the only one with 6, but also absolutely a crucial player. But we are getting down to the end. I think it's 3:36 on the clock. 198 to 114 in favor of St. Louis right now.
And see, I don't know if you can see this at home, but this is one of the great things I mentioned earlier about Rock, because he's actually sitting over there, standing right there right now, explaining to Freakstyle why he got the penalty. You know, there aren't a whole lot of refs out there that do that kind of.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
I see.
Well, now that's interesting. It looks like,
Let's pause awkwardly and wait for Rock to get that mic.
yeah.
Oh, I think he's got it already.
Bridgetown Jammer 101 has been expelled for a high block.
Ooh, so an egregious high block now.
So, Topher Griffin is going to be serving a freak styles penalty in there. Magnum PIMP out there for the gatekeepers. Box is empty. Save Topher. Cosmo up top. And it's going to be Magnum coming through. Lead jammer status once again to St. Louis.
St. Louis with an interesting tactic that they've been using that I've noticed this game on the power starts is they try to run the pack as much as they can to keep the opposing team from bunching up. And it's worked out really well for them the second half. Kind of actually a play they've taken right out of your mom's playbook. Something they used to do a lot was to run the packs to spread them out.
My mom did no such thing.
So a 5-point pass there as Utendorf takes a seat in the penalty box. So now and Jensen also in the box. So both teams down one blocker, and Magnum just knifes through. Power jam has come to an end. Topher Griffin back on the track. Topher Griffin was the jammer that served the penalty for freak style after the ejection. And Magnum forced out by Topher Griffin, and Magnum not playing the game as Griffin skates back. Magnum doesn't care. They got a big lead.
Yeah.
So run more time off the clock. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah,
Jensen.
I don't understand this play here.
Yeah.
Magnum is more than happy to just run more time off this clock. I mean, this is like, yeah, this literally Magnum will just let this jam run out. I don't.
I'm just like looking at the bench.
Yeah.
Like, I guess
Yeah.
this is.
And that's that's the thought that's going through Magnum's mind right now. He's like, I am perfectly happy to just let this run out.
Sure. Right on. Should mention there'll be an interview after this game. This might be a subject brought up. Who can say?
That was actually pretty funny there as as Topher skates over to Magnum, and then Magnum, like, animated, like, makes sure to enhance his step over the line back onto the track right as the jam ended. So some shenanigans here.
Why not?
Yeah, and I think Bridgetown, I think that may have been purposeful on their part. They know that the score right now is out of reach, so, why risk?
I wonder what spread was aimed for, and if they're trying to freeze it or something, We are 2:08:114 as we're ending what may be either the ultimate or penultimate jam. Hulk headed off to the box. Shane Bauer out there against Ostentatious. Bauer getting lead at jammer status. Austin having a lot of trouble getting through these gatekeeper walls today, but is able to get through. That was his initial, followed out by Nix.
I'd also like to point out that that is Hulk's first penalty of the game.
What's up, y'all? So Bauer has lead. Austin is in the back scoring points. Bauer, I guess, gonna run this out.
Yep, 12 seconds left on the period clock.
I feel like I'm watching like a foreign film, and I want to understand what's going on, but I don't. But I still look because it's beautiful.
Yeah, this is clock management through and through by both squads, actually. And that is going to do it. We're just awaiting a final score. Our official final is going to be 208 to 118. Just waiting to see an official score now. And it is now official. So, St. Louis Gatekeepers over Portland's Bridgetown Menace, 208 to 118. And you don't absolutely don't want to make any excuses for Bridgetown, but you have to wonder how much that earlier game against Texas took out of them, having to play 2 games in the span of 8 hours. And I'll tell you right now, Bridgetown will absolutely not use that as an excuse.
Sure.
We're just bringing it up because it does matter. Whether or not it really had any bearing on the outcome of this game, who knows? But the fact that they had to play 2 games a day does factor into things. So it was an interesting game. The Gatekeepers really took control in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Really towards the end of the first half, the last 10 minutes, they really started to exert control. And Bridgetown just was not able to respond to the changes that St. Louis made in the second half. They showed some sparks here and there that they knew how to deal with St. Louis, and I think if they'd have stayed out of penalty trouble, because there were a lot of situations where they were down a couple blockers, and that was when the Gatekeepers really handed it to them.
Definitely.
So the teams now doing their victory laps. We're going to have an interview here for you in a moment. So next up for Bridgetown, do we know who they're playing tomorrow? I believe they are playing Vancouver. Yes.
Yeah.
They're playing Vancouver. And the Gatekeepers play Houston tomorrow.
That'll be great.
So, yeah, a couple good games tomorrow. Don't forget, 8 o'clock, or right here on track 1, Victorian versus Angel.
Oh, no, wait. Sorry.
Wait, no?
It is tomorrow. It's going to be Bridgetown versus Denver.
Oh, Bridgetown, Denver
I think they
tomorrow.
already played Houston. Wait, who did you just say?
Houston.
I think
the
they played...
the Gatekeepers playing Houston.
Oh, okay.
tomorrow.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go on.
So we're going to get an interview for you. Not sure who is being interviewed just yet. I will keep an eye out over
It would be a surprise to us all.
It might just be. As Cal Stark mouths at us on his way
He
back.
just yelled Avengers spoilers at us.
Yeah, I think he
What
did.
is the deal with this
that's
one?
not cool. You don't do that. That's not cool. You don't spoil movies. Come on. Not cool. I'm just glad you guys didn't hear that at home. At least I hope you didn't hear it at home.
It wasn't. I have no idea. I think you said Cobra Khan never dies, but I don't know what that means or if that's real words.
Now I'm getting rude gestures from Spin Diesel as he skates off.
He waved.
I know he did
Where-
not. He did not just.
Where
wave.
are you from?
He did not just.
Where are
wave.
you from?
So I'm not sure.
We're still waiting on that interview.
So it looks
it's
like
gonna be Cherry.
I'm thinking
doing
we're
it.
going to get an interview from somebody on Portland. Oh, actually, I think we're going to get an interview with a referee. This is kind of cool. This will
Oh.
be fantastic. As I think a referee that I talked quite a bit about in this game is it looks like they want to interview Rock, which would be fantastic.
You know, I think Walken said that to me earlier,
Yeah,
but like, you know.
as you
Let's look.
see, Angel City out here.
So yeah. Waiting on that. He's explaining some stuff.
Yeah,
to
Rock. That's the thing
Bridgetown
is,
management.
Rock never rests. Even when he's done with a game, he's got stuff to do. He's got to talk to people. So this is Rock now headed over to the interview booth. Looks like Cherry's over there waiting.
He only has a few feet to go.
Yeah. He's going to stop and talk to everybody. He's got stuff to discuss.
He stopped to look around. And I'm like,
All right.
no friend. All right, so we are going to be hopping over to Cherry and Rock.
So hold on one moment.
Hi, I'm here with Rourke, your tournament head official here at the Big O in Oregon. I'm very Cherry. Thank you for joining us here. Now, Rourke, how long have you been involved in the Big O?
Since the beginning of the Big O, which at this point, I can't remember how long it's been.
Okay, that's a really fair answer. So one of the reasons why we wanted to interview you today was to tell us about the spectrum, the fan of officials that we've had here coming from across the world. Tell us about some of the places where your officials have come from.
Oh, wow. All right, that's put me right on the spot. We've got a pretty wide range of officials. We have officials, actually, you may know, where's KB from? Where's Kilobyte from?
She's from England.
Okay. And then we have Seb from France. We have Lex from Mexico. We have a range of Canadian officials. We have a range of American officials. And I'm not going to be able to remember everybody off the top of my head because there's I think there's around 50 referees alone. And then I need to get 9-inch wheels to chime in on all of the NSOs.
So in previous Big O's, and especially in other tournaments, would you say that you're now seeing even more officials applying from around the globe?
It's actually, this year has been a wider range of officials from the States, but for the past 3 or 4 years, we've had a great range of officials from around the globe. So outside of North America, we've done really well with getting officials, but this year we've got a more expansive group of officials from North America, which is pretty sweet.
And where would you say that some of the best officials come from? Bearing in mind, you know who I am and you know who my lovely husband is.
The planet Earth. The best Derby officials come from the planet Earth.
Oh, that is such a referee answer. Eric Rourke, thank you very much for joining us here. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I've been very Terry.